Gene all three.
Good enough to.
I was going to be
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, first thing I did was go home.
I knew I was late.
That's the best. Hey, check your cardio off for today.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You out of breath? I'm not good at that. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's fine. I talked to John about it.
This is a good place to be.
I agree. I guess we can start. Y'all ready? We're ready. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Lunar City Board of Education Board Meeting, December 9th, 2021. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Here.
Rick Chadwick.
Here.
Glenn McNish.
here.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Here.
Bobby Johnson is absent.
Everyone please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. I believe we have Mr. Weeks here who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, sir. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Weeks. Item number 5, building trades presentation. I guess, Mr. Weeks, you're up again.
Oh, yeah. Well, I brought with me today Jonathan Ingram, who is our instructor, and Chris Ayers, who is from TCAT, Airman, who we are partnering in this endeavor with. And we just thought we would give you an update on how things are going and how we're progressing. And Jonathan has created a slideshow, so I'm going to let him talk for a little bit, and then I'll kind of fill in a couple of blanks and see if y'all have any questions.
So, what a thing to jump into this semester, first off. It's been great working with Chris Ayers at TCAT. Charles Newport is his instructor with Building Trades Technology. And Charles has been excellent as far as helping me out, get my feet wet. Because on top of our normal curriculum for dual enrollment, I had to get certified to teach NCCER, which is TCAT's curriculum that they've chosen to teach. It's nationally accredited all over the country. And so for the certifications that our students can get, is carpenter helper, a carpenter, plumber helper, electrician helper, and then general construction. So this first semester we focused on the core curriculum book. I can't remember, Chris, how many books total is it in there?
There's 5 for those certifications.
5 to get through all the certifications that we have for the building trades technology. We've got 4 students out of this semester that still got a couple tests remaining. So it's looking like between tomorrow and next week, we're gonna get all those 4 students also completed. So on top of that, the certifications that our students get, sticks with them for lifetime. They'll get a wallet card, if they go to apply for a job in California, to my understanding. That card number is registered in a national database. That pulls all their credentials up, all the tests they've had, class hours. And then, say they're 45 and they want to go back and get certified in welding or electrical, they're able to do that. They're able to add on to those certifications. So it's a really good thing. Wish I'd had it when I was in high school. So multiple trades, we've got welding, just to name a few: welding, electrical, commercial, residential construction. A couple more there, Chris. We have a maintenance. And then all the students are required to do OSHA 10 certification, which we've been doing that for a couple years for just our high school program. And they're also going to have the option to do an OSHA 30 certification too. But as far as I'm aware, OSHA 10 is always mandatory. A little bit of enrollment. For this first semester, we had 12 in dual enrollment 1, 4th block, 7 that enrolled for 5th block. 4 of those in 5th block are repeats from 4th block, so I have them for 2 blocks in one day. Spring semester coming up, we've grown it a little bit, 23 and 15. I think at one point we had a little bit of a waiting list of kids wanting to get in.
And there's actually been a couple sign ups since the slide was made. It's 26 and 17 now, so we'll have to look at that.
I'm kind of excited on how it's growing. I think, me and Chris were talking here before the meeting, and it's pretty good numbers for just getting our feet off the ground here, trying to get a new program going. So.
And the kids, they would find me in the cafeteria and say, "Hey, I need to know how I can get in this class," and so I have to send them the guidance and start working out the schedule and everything. So.
And then just a few pictures. This is a tiny home that Mr. Weeks wrote a grant for to get all this our program started and built a tiny home. It's been great since day one. It's taken a little while to get it off the ground also, but we purchased a trailer from Outlaw Trailers in Loudon. They did the floor system, constructed all the walls, and on the next slide we actually have the rafters set. It's now actually all sheeted and ready to start putting. We're going to do a metal roof on it, but the kids are just ecstatic about being a part of this program and that project. And for me, that's been my goal since I started teaching. Was I wanted to frame a whole house like Anderson County did. We've never had the funding to do something like that. So this, in my opinion, is as close as we get kids to building a full-fledged house, start to finish. We're going to do all the cabinetry in the shop. We're going to try to minimize buying from the big box stores as much as possible. So most of the countertops are already made. That lumber comes from the gym, the bleachers we tore out last year. So we made some butcher block countertops from that material to go into the tiny home. So we're trying to incorporate a lot of that. We'll probably make some of the trim work out of that wood also. So it saves the wood shop a lot of money, and it gives the kids, also the being able to do everything from planing the lumber down to running it through the joint. I mean, they get all steps. And Mr. Maloney, I have not forgotten about y'all at the elementary school. I promise.
Mark and I keep talking. We're good.
I'm about to get to that point. So another great thing, we get to go off campus. I've not did that much this semester just because trying to figure out all the ropes and getting kids to get the permission slips back. And we actually had a couple in each class this semester that wasn't eligible to drive. So then I was going to have to find somewhere for them to go and alternate busing them back and forth. So, but we will get to y'all next semester. We also have to get over to North Middle. So that's going to be another great thing is to be able to go from school to school and maybe help out with some of y'all's projects.
I don't think our help.
Sometimes we get spread thin, but we manage to get it done. So I think that's the last slide.
Yeah, okay.
One more.
I've got one more.
just some more putting siding on, but yeah, just being able to get around, get the kids off campus, and hopefully get some partnerships going to where we can get them on actual construction sites. See a house from the ground all the way to finishing out. I think it's, that's about all I've got. Does anybody have any questions about the program?
Is there a cap on the amount of students in a semester?
There is.
Yeah, we're gonna follow, I think, Mr. Weeks, the 25 that the state sets forth.
Yes, that's it. We have a cap for the high school level classes is 25, and actually the adult classes will be around 15 to 20. And so, and just for safety purposes and that kind of thing. Jonathan is a master at knowing what this kid over here is doing and that kid over there is doing. This one's all left hands and thumbs, and that one is an expert carpenter, you know, and so.
Hey, don't make fun of left-handed people now.
We
We can do things.
Well,
We're not stupid.
The amount of time I get to spend with the kids, you know, I get to know them on a little bit better basis than some of the other teachers do. You know, some of them, I see them freshman year all the way out to, you know, walking across the stage senior year. So I get to know them pretty well.
So, excuse me, can you enroll as a freshman and do all 4 years, or can you do it just a year or two, like your senior year?
It's going to be a junior senior year only, with the option of continuing on. We're hoping to get an adult class after hours. So we're hoping that maybe, you know, we can keep feeding those kids right into our adult class, and our seniors graduate and get first dibs on those students.
So actually, as a fall, we have 2 high school intro classes that lead up to these courses. So we have fundamentals of construction and then residential construction 1, and those are the high school level. That's what the freshman and sophomore can take. But they can take from between 1 semester, 1 block, all the way up to 4 semesters, 2 blocks a semester if they can finish their schedule. And that's kind of our ultimate goal and stuff. Because the more that they can take with us, the more hours they get towards Chris's diploma at his school.
Yeah, the more we can get them to complete high school, the less they have to spend semester, trimester wise and enroll in college after high school. So faster we get them to the workforce. That's all I've got. No other questions.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for all that you're doing for the kids in our community as well. Moving on, item number 6, we have the approval, item number 6, the approval of the agenda and the addendum agenda. And we'll put the addendum after item number 16. And that addendum is the approval of the change order request for Lenoir High School additions and renovations projects to the cafeteria.
I'll make a motion. We approve the agenda and the addendum.
I have a motion from Mr. Chadwick.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. McNish. Any discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
All right, item number 7, approval amendment for the November 11th, 2021 regular board meeting.
Motion we approve the minutes is rich.
I have a motion by Mr. Ledbetter.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. McNish. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
All right, next up, we pay the bills.
Motion we approve the committee reports.
I have a motion by Mr. Ledbetter,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
All right, on to new business. Item number 11, we have the approval to award the Little City Elementary fundraising project for the 21-22 school year to Mountain Empire Promotions. Dr. Barker, you or Mr. Maloney?
Mr. Maloney, do you have any comments?
We will utilize this company in the spring. PTO's doing the fundraiser this semester. We will utilize this company in the spring, and I have not yet set a date or what we're gonna do is a fundraiser, but I will be meeting with them shortly after we return from Christmas break.
Don, how much money do you think you all raised?
How much do I think we will?
Yeah,
We typically.
you know, it had quotes in there.
We typically raise, well, when we had Rick Carter, we would raise somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000 in a typical spring fundraiser. That's kind of what we shoot for.
Okay.
Hope for more than that, but that's, historically, that's kind of been where we've fallen.
Is that your gross or net?
That's gross. No, it's net, I'm sorry, yeah, that's after prizes and all that, yes.
I'll entertain a motion that we do the fundraiser project for the elementary.
I have a motion by Mr. Chadwick.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. McNish. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Item number 12, approval of the Esther 3.0 application.
Yes, Board, if you will remember, a couple of months ago, I shared with you that the state has now required that any of our ESSER applications, once they have been approved by the state, need to have board approval as well. And so we have our ESSER 3.0 application that has been approved, and now we need a vote here to give your consent for us to go ahead and move forward with those expenditures.
Make a motion we approve.
I have a motion by Mr. McNish.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Item 13, approval to bid out Lunar City High School Gymnasium Renovations.
Board, this is our next project that we said we would take on after, from our prioritized list of projects, that we said we would start after we were fully involved with the cafeteria and restroom renovation. And so we're at the point now where our architect has drawings and is ready to put out to bid the next project, which will be the Gymnasium Renovations, which will be renovating the common spaces there, the locker rooms, and the bathrooms on the second level. We've had that on a list for many years.
Many years.
Many years. And so I will say this, as all construction projects go, this one, just the estimate has come in over what we had originally designed, but we don't know what the bids will be. So this is simply to put the project out to bid, and then we will make decisions based on what direct costs will be after we get the bids in. So that's what I'm asking for approval for.
Mike, where did this figure come from?
The architect's estimate.
Okay, that's architects.
Yeah, it's probably low.
Guarantee it will be. But I'll entertain a motion. We take this project out for minutes.
I'll second.
Long undertaking.
I have a motion by Mr. Ledbetter and a second by Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Aye.
Item 14, approval to renumber LCBOE policy 1.106 ethics to 1.1061.
And we probably have these a little bit backwards, 14 and 15, because we have the requirement to adopt a code of ethics policy, and we had that piece blended into our original policy called ethics. So we wanted to keep that and just go ahead and add the code of ethics. So in order to do that, our old policy, which was 1.106, I'm asking that we rename that one, or renumber that one, to 1.1061, and then adopt the next item on the agenda, which is policy 1.106, which is code of ethics, and that is one that is a sample policy designed by TSBA to meet the qualifications of the law.
Do we vote on those together or singly?
I think singly we
Okay.
need to vote on those. So one of them is simply renumbering
The
one that
current.
we already had and then adding the new one. Yes.
Make a motion, we renumber.
Have a motion by Mr. McNish.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
And now number 15, approval to adopt LCBOE policy 1.106, which is the new code of ethics.
I'll entertain a motion.
A motion by Mr. Chadwick.
That's all right.
I'll second. We gotta have some ethics on there.
We have lots of ethics.
Yes.
We have two policies
Yeah.
full of
I have a
ethics.
second by Mr. Ledbetter. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
And now item number 16, approval to cancel the December workshop due to the winter break.
Yes, our workshop is scheduled for December 27th, and I think we will all be enjoying the holidays. So if we could cancel that, that is my request.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion by Mr. Chadwick,
Second.
second by Mr. McNish. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
And now to the addendum item, approval of change order requests for number 3 for the Lunar City High School additions and renovations project.
So Mr. Sims is here to answer any questions you may have with this, but as further explanation, the State Fire Marshal's Office has reviewed the project, and they have required us to upgrade some of the existing fire safety systems in the existing cafeteria, specifically the fire alarm system and adding emergency lighting in the existing dining room. So there are a few other things. Mr. Sims, do you?
Electrical box, we had to add, since it's an assembly hall, we had to have voice activated fire alarm system put in, so that now we have to put a whole new fire alarm box back in the cafeteria area. So it's all these right here is electrical and mechanical that's required by the fire marshal.
That's hard to believe for a room that size.
But see, when you open that from the old seating area to the new, now you gotta bring the old up to the new. And bring all those codes back up.
Unintended consequences.
I mean, it's just a big room, and how much money did it cost the Exeter?
And some of this is for the restrooms too.
Yeah.
So there's several items rolled into this change order.
Yeah.
Any other questions about that?
Any motion we approve. We're too much into it now to back out.
Yeah.
Motion by Mr. Ledbetter.
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Glenn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Item number 17, superintendent's comments.
Yes, Board, I want to say that this has been, again, another fast month, but some wonderful things have happened during this month. You know, our schools are more normalisk than they have been, and so we're very excited about that. We have seen a dramatic decrease in COVID cases to the point it was just one last week. We are, however, seeing an uptick in some of the fall diseases or illnesses. Flu has hit particularly the high school more dramatically than it has the elementary and the middle. We have a few cases there. We have several cases, but absences are in the normal range there. We have had some abnormal absences at the high school level. This is also EOC testing. It's also state dual enrollment and credit class testing. So there are a lot of things that are happening that can't be rescheduled. We have tomorrow afternoon the opportunity for our teachers to get a booster shot from the Loudoun County Health Department. We've scheduled time between 2:30 and 4:30 for them to do a drive-through option to actually get a booster should they choose. One of the things I found out when we surveyed our teachers is that most of them already have the vaccination and then the booster if they want the booster or if they qualify for the booster. So when I talked with Teresa Harrell at the health department, she was very pleased with the number of people that we have that are fully protected. And so I think that's another reason why we're seeing very, very low incidences of COVID. However, we are seeing an uptick. So Mr. Gaskins has been disinfecting and cleaning the schools and getting our custodians and maintenance team on board with that. In addition to what they normally do, we're encouraging students to, again, use their hand sanitizers. We have plenty of masks, and anyone who wants to put one on is welcome to do so to protect themselves and others. So we're encouraging all of those healthy habits, and our principals are doing a great job of helping with that. I cannot say how much I appreciate our nurses in our schools. They are working very hard and communicating with parents and doing the best to keep our students and faculty safe. So I just want to give you that update and recognize those nurses that are working hard every day and serving us well. Then we have some other exciting news. Last week I was privileged to go with Miss Millicent Smith and her family to Nashville, where she was recognized as the East Grand Division Supervisor of the Year. So let's give her a round of applause. We all know how hard she works and the important work that is done, overseeing the academic and instructional processes, procedures, and materials for the entire district. And we're very honored to have her as part of our staff. And this honor is very important, and we want to recognize her for that. So we did a few things for her. We had some food, and we had some signs and some balloons, and so I just want to say personally, thank you, Millicent, for what you do every day. There's not a person around here that works any harder, and we all work hard, so that tells you something. So we're very pleased with her. Then, piggybacking on the information I gave you about some of the flu outbreak, we do have a postponement of our choral and band concert from the high school. That's usually the way I like to start my actual holiday celebration, is with that event. That was scheduled for tonight at First Baptist Church, Lenoir City, and has been postponed till next week, December the 16th. I had a lot of students that were performing that were under the weather, and so we just thought we don't want to cancel that. We're not going to cancel Christmas, but we have postponed it to another time. And then last night we had, at the high school, had a theater performance, and tomorrow those students will be presenting their theater performance for the students during school. So those are all exciting events that we want to make sure students have the opportunity to participate in and enjoy. So those will go forward. So I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody as we begin our holidays. The last day for this school year, for this term, will be December the 17th. School will be dismissed at noon, buses will run, and then we will all return back to school January the 3rd after the new year. So that's what I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, does anyone have anything else?
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Christmas to everyone. All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Ledbetter, second Mr. Chadwick. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Matthew Coleman.
Aye.
Rick Chadwick.
Aye.
Lynn McNish.
Aye.
Mitch Ledbetter.
Next week.